trying to follow the everything that happens around AI and AI software engineering. And so we had this first wave, the end of last year and the first few months of this year, where we had the luxury to have a subscription with almost unlimited access. So for many people, at least for me, this was a period of a lot of experimentation just to understand how capable the models were. So a lot of work around, I'm going to try things and I'm going to do things in parallel, which I think was important just to understand the capabilities. But then we also see the risk that if we move too fast and then if we do things in parallel, it's difficult to transform the experiment into value, into something that really gets shipped and used. And now I see what people are saying. I see what model providers are doing, and I see two things. One thing is the free lunch is over, so people who use subscriptions, they see that the limits are getting stricter and stricter, and they are really pushing people to use the APIs and to pay per use, which means that instead of paying 100 or 200, if you are still in this mode where you do as much as possible in parallel, you end up paying thousands of francs. And so this completely changes the economics. And in a way, I think it's also good because it creates some friction and it forces us to say, okay, so now that we know that models are capable, that they can do pretty much everything, okay, but what do we really want to do and why do we use them? So I also feel that, okay, there is a need to have a bit more focus and to be more intentional on what we do, but to still have some room to do some experiments and to try. But what I'm struggling is to basically have a model where we have these different activities. Some are exploratory, some have a very clear intent. We are doing something in a project or we are building a feature for a product. And we need to make an investment decision. So what I really like is that these questions about value before, this was very far from the dev teams. And now if you imagine that every dev has a budget of tokens, then people will have to start to say, okay, how am I going to invest my tokens? And if I need more, I need to negotiate with the PO or with the project manager. So I think it's quite interesting because it makes the economics of software development and SDLC in general a concern of everyone. And I think the people in the tech teams will have to develop these things because, yeah, at the moment, companies are experimenting, so they are very generous with the quotas, at least in big tech. But this is going to change. So that's one thing. The other thing I start to hear what early adopters are saying. And we know from the beginning that things are changing on a monthly basis, and people who are really, they are using these tools like crazy. 2 months ago, one of them was saying, the guy who invented the word context engineering, he was saying, okay, so what matters is the spec. You have to focus on the spec, and then you can ignore the code. And 2 weeks ago, he was giving a talk, and I was wrong. And now I really read the code. Doesn't mean that you go slow. You still go much faster than before, and you can still have more quality. But the idea that you only read the code and you really treat the code as black box. People are, or at least some people, they are a bit changing the discourse. People are saying slow the fuck down, and yeah,